What are you watching for? Some matchups or some things. Maybe the way to put this: if this thing happens, you think it's really good for the Bengals, and conversely, what do they need to avoid to have happening as well?
Yeah, I think on it, I know it's a cliche, but I think it's the run game because you look at Cleveland and that is just a rush attack that you have to stop, right? That is what they are built on. Their offensive line, I know they're down Teller, but, their offensive line is still really talented. The Bengals defensive line is kind of banged up. And if you allow Nick Chubb to kind of, just eat off 5 yards of carry, that's not going to be a good sign for the Bengals defense. But one of the things I think for the Bengals offense is if you can run the ball successfully, I mean, like I said, with all the receiving talent you have, I just don't know how many teams are equipped to stop that. Because if you're running the ball effectively and Joe Mixon's, getting 5 yards of carry, something like that, that's a really, really tough task for a secondary to handle because then you start to come up and all of a sudden you get T. Higgins in one-on-one matchups. And that's not a matchup that a lot of cornerbacks are going to win in this league.
You mentioned the RPO game that they've had. How big has that factored into them getting out to those leads?
Yeah, it's huge. I think in the first couple of weeks they were trying to figure out, who they are, and there was a lot of talk because opposing defenses would come out in these cover two looks. You just throw two safeties all the way back and basically just put a lid on the offense, and you force Joe Burrow to throw underneath. And Joe Burrow really didn't play well against that the first time he saw it. He threw 4 picks against the Steelers. He got sacked 7 times, and obviously that was not all on his offensive line. Joe Burrow was just looking for those plays. He was looking for the home run. The RPOs have kind of allowed them to start to hit singles now, and that is a disaster for defenses because when the Bengals are ripping off 5, 6, 7 yards of play, and you don't know if it's a run or a pass, that's how they burn you. That's how they burn the Saints. That's how they burn the Falcons, and that, I think, is how they're going to try to burn the Browns.